Welcome to Facts for Real Videos. You're on a journey through Florida's swamplands. You come across some sinkholes, but wait, was that a crocodile? Watch out. When you come to an asphalt road, it resembles a runway quite a bit. However, there isn't an airport building nearby. You decide to investigate it, and after a 30-minute walk down the runway, you spot a trailer. They say there are 4 persons inside. You unintentionally cross the path of what was intended to be the world's largest airport, a project that would have been 5 times the size of JFK. The Everglades Jetport opened its doors in 1968, just as the era of commercial flight was coming to an end. With 6 runways and the ability to accommodate supersonic jets carrying up to 300 people, it was intended to become an intercontinental hub. They chose this spot between the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico, away from major cities, because at that time, it would allow travelers to fly in under 3 hours to both South America and Europe. A commercial passenger plane's peak speed was about 500 miles per hour, but Concorde was about to make a shift, one that was almost ready. Boeing was also developing a significant lightning-fast passenger plane at the time of its first flight. Therefore, those really brief flying periods would be entirely feasible and nobody would object. Unlike the surrounding area, takeoff and landing over the water make loud noises. High-speed rail would connect the new hub to neighboring cities on both the Atlantic coast and the Gulf of Mexico, allowing some passengers from inland airports to travel to the new hub. For its prospective wealthy guests, the terminal was planned to be incredibly lavish with a ton of lounges. Nevertheless, none of this materialized once airport development got underway, but was completed immediately after they built. Locals and activists initially became aware of the runway when a report claimed that the proposed airport would destroy the Everglades National Park and the South Florida ecosystem. Since the Boeing program for supersonic passenger jets was cancelled in less than 20 years while the tests for such aircraft were ongoing, they were vehemently opposed to its building. The Federal Aviation Administration received 40,000 complaints of sonic booms from residents living beneath the testing zones, who claimed that the noises were coming from jets traveling faster than the speed of sound and were shattering glass and frightening people and farm animals. The nation understood that supersonic travel wouldn't be profitable, thus a large airport wasn't necessary. Those aircraft pilot training has long taken place on the East Runway. It is in a remote area and long enough to land Boeing 747 seconds. Therefore, it was ideal for those uses at the time that flight simulators were much more sophisticated, and there was no need for pilots to train. There no longer, even on its busiest days, the unfinished airport began accepting general aviation aircraft. Less than a dozen takeoffs and landings occur there each day. Therefore, the 4 employees are on duty from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., occasionally every day. What was once a major airport is now a venue for picnics, festivals, and fashion events. They use the airport for car races on the other side of the planet. On the runways of Berlin, Germany's former Tempelhof airport, you may skateboard and sail kites. Up to the Pentagon's completion, it was the tallest structure in the world. Additionally, it was the world's first airport to incorporate an underground railway system. The Knights Templar formerly owned the land where the airport is now, which is how it received its name. Nearer to the conclusion of its service, the airport saw the most of its small commuter aircraft used throughout the 1920s. In 2008, it was shut down. Floyd Bennett Field is currently a resident of New York. Its previous life as a venue for cycling competitions and stargazing with the Amateur Astronomers Association is now known as its new life. Amelia Earhart, a pioneer in American aviation, used to land here. At that time, Floyd and Newark Airport in New Jersey were becoming more and more significant. One of the most stunning subway stops in New York, with vaulted ceilings, arches, and emerald green tile, is sitting below Abandon. Bennett Field was closed for good. The City Hall station served as the southern terminus of the first subway line, and when it was finally inaugurated at the turn of the 20th century, over 15,000 people were eager to ride. At the time, a journey cost 1 nickel. Over the years, City Hall Station has served as the starting point for all rides. As the subway trains became longer, they were unable to halt and allow passengers to board safely, due to the curving platforms, which is how the station began to lose money. The subway's users grew accustomed to it to the point where they were unconcerned about its aesthetic appeal, mainly due to functionality and the fact that the City Hall Station has never been on the fast track. The only option to visit the City Hall Station nowadays is to take part in a tour led by the New York Transit Museum. Passengers prefer to utilize the neighboring Brooklyn Bridge station instead because it allows them to travel much faster and also allows them to get out closer to the renowned bridge. For at least 80 years, no trains at all leave Bolivia's vast abandoned train yard. Not far from the university, you can locate nearly 100 train cars. For a very long time, it served as a significant transportation hub for the area, due to its convenient location between Chile, Bolivia, and Argentina's largest cities. By the middle of the 20th century, the hub was crucial in getting minerals to the Pacific ports. Due to resource exhaustion, the mines were closed. The salt flats were where the trains were left to rest. The stunning steel trains quickly devolved into ruin. If you ever find yourself in Turkey, be sure to visit the yard because the salty breezes that corroded the metal made it into a popular tourist destination. You might come across a Disney-style village that is unfinished and standing empty. Over 500 castles were constructed for a total cost of about $200 million by the project's management organization, 200 less than originally anticipated. There were supposed to be recreation areas in the mystical forest-encircled settlement of Burj Al Babas. Turkish spas, opulent stores, and other recreational options are available for the city's international residents. The populace was content to put money into the future. Royal loved life, but as the nation experienced an economic collapse, the buyers withdrew out of concern for the project's future. The construction business lost the majority of the money, and the fairytale village has been abandoned ever since. When a man in the Turkish province of Cappadocia was remodeling his home in the middle of the 20th century when he observed that his chickens had started to permanently vanish. He made the choice to find the answer, so he started looking about and discovered a dim corridor. It turned out to be one of 600 entrances that other homeowners discovered leading to a vast, deserted underground metropolis. The city could hold about 20 people and featured a complex, 18-level system. It contained all the telltale markers of civilization, according to archaeologists, and wasn't just a collection of dimly lit tunnels. There were numerous homes, schools, kitchens, and dry food storage facilities for livestock. To ensure that everyone had access to clean water and fresh air, there was even a sophisticated ventilation system. In 370 BCE, the city was first attested in literature. It was probably constructed as a refuge against enemies and natural disasters. A place like this should have been built in Cappadocia. That's all for today because the soil lacks water and the rocks are easily moldable. So, if the video satisfied your interest, please like it and share it with your friends. If you're still curious, click on the following videos and stick with facts for real videos.